This is a Dark Illumination Report Extra with RJ Womack.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining me for this episode of the podcast. I'm glad you're here. If you've never heard this podcast before, I should let you know that I'm a little bit different from the average Satanist you've heard on the internet. I actually believe in Satan, I actually worship Satan, and the practices that I practice are a combination of a traditional witchcraft, polytheistic paganism, and medieval Satanism is the best way to describe it. I am as close as you're going to get to a medieval Satanist, probably, at least a medieval Satanist with common sense. What I mean by that is you'll find people that are more like traditional devil worshippers, but they tend to be a little bit on the fanatical side or the crazy side. They're the kind of people who believe that Satan's out to destroy the universe and destroy mankind, and the way to serve him is by blowing up churches and stuff like that. I'm not one of those people. I believe that Satan is a God of knowledge and wisdom, and he gave us the ability to think and the ability to reason, and he gave us self-awareness, and it is our obligation to develop ourselves to our full potential. That's the best way to repay him for the gifts that he's given us. I'm going to be going through the podcast really quickly today because I have a limited amount of time to record this. I'm in a very noisy environment. It's very early in the morning and my neighborhood is very noisy. So I have a limited time to record this. And so I'm going to be going quickly. So the first thing I want to do is make several announcements. We're going to be going to a 2-episode a week format. And the Tuesday episode, which, by the way, this is being posted late because I didn't do what I was supposed to and I didn't record the episode when I was supposed to. But normally it would be on a Tuesday. And the Tuesday episode will be basically answering a listener question or giving you a book review or a TV review of some occult-related television show or whatever. And then the Friday episode will be a long-form episode, which will either have an interview or a lecture from me on a particular topic. And what we're eventually going to do is start getting guests and start mixing guests in with my regular lecture length episode. And this episode will be anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, the episode on Tuesday. And then the episode on Friday will be anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour. And depending on what guest we have, or if we have guests, or depending on the content I'm talking about. I also created a Twitter hashtag for the podcast, Dark Illumination Report. That's hashtag Dark Illumination Report. And if you have any comments or questions about the show, or would just like some advice on your life plan or anything else, just contact me on there. That's where you're probably going to get the quickest response. The other thing I wanted to let you guys know is that we're going to be revealing a new podcast logo shortly. By the time this comes out, you'll probably have already seen it. We're trying to rebrand the website and the podcast so that it has a more professional look and feel to it. I really want to promote this podcast as a podcast for serious devotional Satanists who want to better their life and who want to take Satanism seriously. I want to get away from the stereotypical image of the black metal Satanist. I don't think it's good for Satanism. I don't think it helps Satanism. I think it's destructive. And if you look at the media coverage of how many black metal Satanists are committing criminal acts, I think it makes us look really bad as Satanists. So I personally want to get away from that image as much as possible. And I want this show to become a ministry for people who are adult Satanists, who have real lives and are serious people who want to devote themselves to Satanism and to the kingdom. And if that's you, then I'm glad you're here, and I hope you'll keep listening, and I hope you'll let other people know about the podcast. And I'm going to be recording another short episode this week because I want to revisit some of the things I talked about when it comes to using idols in satanic worship. But I want to keep these episodes short that happen during the week, so they're really brief listens for those of you who don't have a lot of time. So I'll record that in the next episode. Until then, I'll see you next time. May Satan be with you. Take care, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Dark Illumination Report podcast. For the latest news headlines, show information, and more, go to rjwomack.com. That's rjwomack.com.